prevention educator, and today we're talking about communication. Communication is the building block of healthy relationships, so it's important to understand why we communicate, how we communicate, and just the basics of communicating with others. So, communication involves being open, honest, simple, direct, and clear. It does not involve threatening, screaming, yelling, or any other violent behavior. Although we can communicate that way, it's not healthy and it becomes one-way communication and nothing gets handled. So when we talk about communication, we're talking about communicating in a healthy way, which is open, honest, simple, direct, and clear. So think of all the ways that you communicate with other people. That can be anything from, let's see, talking. Obviously, I'm talking with you, so we communicate through talking. We communicate through gestures, like awesome job, or we communicate through our facial expressions, body language, and we also communicate through writing. But most of all, like as we've gotten more into technology, we've started to communicate through text message or other types of technology. We can communicate through writing, or even some people still communicate with, let's see, I'm trying to think of all the ways we communicate, but the biggest one, and probably the most challenging for a lot of people, is listening. Listening is the biggest part of communication, and I know I struggle with listening, but it is the most crucial part of communication. So now that we've covered the ways in which we communicate, how we communicate, we're going to move into how to communicate in a healthy way, okay? So we recommend the I statement. Now, what you'll learn in most of my classes is that no person, situation, or thing can make you feel a certain way. You choose your feelings even if you're not aware of it. So I choose my feelings, and my I statement helps me express what I'm feeling, the reason I have chosen my feeling, and what I need or want. So, my horrible example, sorry. I come back to, I'm going to sound real mom for a second. I apologize. All right. The house is a disaster. You guys are all slobs. I cannot believe you would live this way. Would anyone help me? Why doesn't anyone else clean up? Am I the only one who has to? You are all disgusting slobs. All right? So that was probably a horrible way to communicate most of the time when I think of like how I'm going to be responded to. Most of the time it would come down to, well, you decided to have us, so you clean up after us, or you made us, so make the mess go away, kind of stuff like that. So it's not going to go well. It's going to be pretty awful. So if I say the opposite of that and use my I statement, because the I statement is helpful, it takes the conflict out of the equation. It doesn't blame people. They don't go on the attack or get defensive. So the I statement would help me let them know what I feel, the problem, and how I would like it handled. So I feel that the house is a disaster. I would love it if we could all work together to keep it clean. Now the response to that's probably not going to be the same as getting all defensive and calling the parent a maid or whatever. But we can all realize, okay, well maybe we can help to keep things more cleanly and less cluttered. So, let's talk about our I statements. So, I feel blank when blank I need. It could also be want blank. So I'm saying how I'm feeling, what or the reason I'm feeling that way, and what I need or want from that. So the only time I don't recommend using your I statement with the feeling is when we're talking about bullying. So if we cover bullying, I don't like I feel devastated when you call me names. I need that to stop. Well, I want you to tell the bully to stop. I don't want them to know that they've hurt you. The bully is looking for a response. They're looking for a negative impact, negative reaction, and if they get one, they're like, ha ha ha, I made them cry. Let's do this 10 times more. So when I say I feel I feel that was intended to hurt my feelings, I need that to stop. That way I haven't said like, wow, that was devastating. Wow, that's going to ruin my day. Like, I didn't say that hurt me in any way. I just, that what I felt that was intended to hurt my feelings, I need that to stop. That way they don't get any power from their hurtful behavior. So, I can say I feel irritated when I come home and the house is a disaster. I need it all clean. I feel devastated when I come home and there's no ice cream. I need to go shopping. Different things like that. So the I statement, it takes the blame off others while letting me express what I'm feeling, why I'm feeling that way, and what I need or want. So it could be anything in a healthy relationship. I feel so happy when we hang out together. I would love it if we could hang out some more. Okay? Just different things like that. So, if you want, copy this down so you can remember it. It sounds strange at first, but once you start using your I statement, it becomes a lot more comfortable and it doesn't sound as strange. It's also basic building blocks for healthy communications with others. So now that we have covered how to express ourselves, how to communicate effectively with another person using our I statements, the next thing we do is go into listening. All right, this is probably my most challenging area. So I need to, when I'm trying to listen to somebody, I need to lean forward and let them know that I'm interested in what they're saying. The opposite of this is watching my tone, how I express things, and my facial expressions. So, no, you are so not boring. Isn't going to tell me that I'm not boring. It's also, the facial expression is probably going to tell me that I'm the exact opposite of that. Or like, no, I'm not mad at you. Is probably not going to express that they're not mad at me. It's probably not going to tell me that I haven't done something to offend them. So, when we are expressing ourselves, we need to watch for tone, facial expressions, and body language. If I'm really closed off, it's going to show that I'm not open to receiving information. But if my body language is more open, then people feel like they can approach me. I look more approachable. Making eye contact with someone while they're talking to me, and not like the crazy uncomfortable eye contact where they simply stare the whole time into your eyes. Like, I make 100% eye contact all the time. That's not what you want, especially if you're in a job interview. That won't make you look like you should be somebody who's hired. So, look the person in the eyes, but you can take a break from their eyes, look down at what you're doing or something on the desk or back into their eyes, but let them know you're listening. Most of the time I try and bend forward to let somebody know I'm listening and look them in the eyes. The other part that's really, really hard for me is ignoring distractions. I have a maybe 10-second attention span. And so I will be talking to somebody and I'll be trying to listen, and then I'll see a squirrel or something like that. So I have to really pay attention to what they're saying. Now, part of my ability to pay attention, what I'm trying so hard to work on, is I will try and repeat back what they're saying so that they know I'm actually trying to listen or pay attention. So I would listen to what they're saying, think about it, and then repeat it back. Not like a parrot, but just, so if I understood what you're saying, you don't like when your house is a disaster. And they can say, yeah, I can't stand a messy house, right? Okay, so repeating back ensures that you've heard the information correctly. Now, another thing to do when you're listening is avoid distractions, but maybe also place all your attention on the other person. That means like maybe putting down your cell phone, or maybe stop watching videos or something, and then pay attention to what the person is saying. That way there's not the distraction there, but you are completely letting that person know that you're there to listen to them. All right, so we've gone over the ways we listen, or active listening, or repeating back, asking questions to ensure that we know what the person is trying to express, or if we need more information. The next part is sometimes people don't want to talk about themselves. Sometimes it's hard for people to express their feelings, express their emotions, and talk about things. So we sometimes talk about why that is, why it can be hard for people to open up about themselves. I'm going to give you a second to think about why it's hard for you to open up and talk about yourself to other people. Just give you a minute. You may have to pause the video for your minute because I'm not comfortable with awkward silences. So I'm going to go into like why it's hard for me to open up and talk about myself. Ew, I don't want to look self-absorbed, or they're totally going to judge me, or they're probably going to think I'm weird if I open up and talk about myself. Also, like really bad anxiety, so I'm always thinking like, oh my gosh, they're going to like think I'm horrible, or how dumb was that to say? Okay, all right. So, maybe they don't have the right words to express how they're feeling, different things like that. When we talk about anger management, we'll talk about the different words that describe the different levels of anger. But if you don't know those, you probably don't know how to express it, and that can be hard too. And sometimes, even for me, communication does not flow as smoothly as I want it to. And that can be anything from communication stoppers. So communication stoppers are little things that instantly prevent you from talking to someone else. If you make your list now, just document anything that would make you stop wanting to talk instantly. Things that make me not want to talk to someone or shut down my communication instantly is when I'm talking and someone rolls their eyes at me. It's probably not gonna make me want to open up or continue talking. Another thing that makes me not think people are listening is when they're sitting there, oh yeah, I'm totally listening to you, you're great, and so they're just texting the whole time, or taking the phone call in the middle of our conversation. That could be it. Judging me or giving me advice. Okay, so if you've ever talked to someone and they go like, ew, if I were you, I would have never done that. That's definitely where I'm cutting off my communication. I am not having anything more to do with that, because that's not great. Maybe put downs, insults, other things that are just going to stop that communication instantly. But I'm sure you have a brilliant list, and I wish you could share it with me. So to finish up my class, I play something called the drawing game. And the drawing game is so brilliant, and it's just a wonderful game. However, I'm not near you. I don't know if you have anyone else around you. I always tell my classes, like, if you decide that you're going to get married, bring your partner in and we're going to play the drawing game. And see how your partner responds to the drawing game. If they get irritated and angry with you and start calling you names, it might be time to reevaluate that relationship. If they're patient with you and kind to you while you're playing the drawing game, then it might be a better option. What I do is we have a drawer, and the drawer would basically, when I'm in classes, they face the board. They can ask questions for clarification, but they cannot not because I want the communication open, I will allow questions, but that's not normally the part of this game. And then I have a talker. And the talker is looking at a picture, and usually, let me see if I can remember one. The most common picture that is used in my drawing games is the picture of a circle, and it has an arrow in it, and another arrow on that, and another arrow on that. And so the talker would have to describe to the drawer how to draw that just using words. I don't allow them to use gestures or draw in the air, and only one talker talks at a time. So the talker would say, all right, go ahead and draw a circle. And so the drawer would be up there and they would just draw the circle. Now these range from really, really difficult to really simple. But what it comes down to is everyone communicates differently. Our brains don't communicate the same. So when I think like draw a circle, I think of a circle about this size. But some people, when they hear draw a circle, they think of something that big. And so it comes down to detailed communication, which is so much harder than we think, because we've been talking for a long time. I should be able to give directions, but directions also vary. If you think about giving directions to your friend on how to get places, some people are really gifted with like, oh yeah, just head north about 5 miles and then you'll see a street sign that says Lion Street, and you just make a right and go about 400 yards and the house will be to your right. And other people don't have that skill to understand that. And so, myself included, if I'm giving directions, it's all about what's around there. So I will actually use businesses or little houses or cute little landmarks to give directions. And a lot of people do that same thing. So like go down until you see the car lot, make a left. You'll see a really cute house with a picket fence, little cute dog in the front. It's a beige house with brown trim, and then just make a right after that and continue until you see the purple house, and then make a right. And so it just, everyone communicates differently. Everyone has a different way that they like to receive information, that they like to get directions, and our brains are all different. So the drawing game really points that out. So if you have a chance, you might be able to look up the drawing game. I'll see if I can find one online and post it in the comments. So today we learned about how to communicate, all the ways we communicate. We communicate open, honest, simple, direct, and clear. We use our I statements to let people know what we're feeling, why we're feeling that way, and what we need or want. And we learned about communication stoppers, but most of all, we learned, hopefully, how to listen well and let others know that we care about them and are interested in what they're saying. So I want to thank you so much for tuning in. I wish I could see you in person. Thank you and have a great day. You are awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed my videos, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, email me at qwsquest@yahoo.com.